Nakana kwamba kutotorora yayo olero kutotorora yayo kutotorora yayo olero kutotorora kine Somongo kibinda wabaka wabika Somongo kine Manaka banshikira no kuseka Somongo kine Uno mwana sonako Somongo mwanyike Uno mwana sonako Somongo kibinda Wakamwapa no wapika
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, Chiwempala. Elias Munsha here on TVBAKWETU. Thank you for joining us. Please share this link with as many people as possible. We are very excited here today. Here I almost said Calgary, Alberta, because I always come to you from Calgary, Alberta. Today, I'm in a place known as Red Deer, Alberta. Red Deer, Alberta. That's where I am. And I'm on my lunch break. And so we are going to have a great, great time on TVBAKWETU. Please share the word around, spread the word around, and share this link with as many people as possible. We have Honourable Heartson Mabeta, our resident MP and Member of Parliament for Kankoyo. Honourable Mabeta, welcome to TVBAKWETU tonight.
Mkwayi Dr. Elias Munsha kwesu na ba Patrick Chirufya. Ba Patrick mwabombeni mkwayi?
Ndita ba Mabeta.
Mkwayi.
Good evening to everyone.
No, if we're to we know, and I can see that we are going to have a great, great time here. And Honourable Mabeta was with us last week and is here with us here today. Now, I posted a video earlier where I was singing a galwimbo, Honourable Heartson Mabeta. It's a very nice song. It's a very nice song. And so
Okay.
some people are misunderstanding it because they're thinking that I'm trying to mock the misfortune of others.
Kesa kalakava.
Kesako.
ati not that mwalesarura nkale test. Mwalefwaya balungu kabiri mwabikapo mulomo balebwererapo pamupando.
Yeah. Ako kena eka song of the year. Nomba akakani nikarya that was talking about ati milandu wale panga bale kwere.
Oh yeah.
Nomba uyu
Yakaba wile. Lwa wile.
Nomba bale kulonga. It was there was a remix that was done by two gentlemen bamo ishinali yabo ni bachitotela ero naba nabo bakampongo. And so they were more a few years ago.
Oh yeah. No, that one I saw it, and I think that song when they were singing, okay, it really damaged our spirits because I want to to be honest with you. Very tweety them people, you know.
Yeah.
The way they would come out, the way they would do their body language, the confidence in them. When it was their time to be on the other side, very tweety them people. I remember that occasion. Was it a rally? It was the I think they had a rally that time.
Yes, I think it was a rally, and so they were singing, and sana. And so, Honourable Mabeta, I think the way I personally take it is, we are willing and very able to be very sympathetic to these gentlemen. Even when they have lost, they are not sorry. There is no remorse.
It's not just about kuba sorry na kuichepsha tamwedeva munsha. I think that's the problem. Yeah. Our friends in PF should come to terms with kuichepsha inangu pangandana ulufshanya. There's a point at which you need just to calm down and show remorse of the things you did. Kuichepsha tamwava hiyo echintu chashupa sana. And the bad part of them is they were used to mocking the president. You know, President Church has been the most abused president. So much that I've been in government for the past 3 months. I think I haven't heard most of the UPND, maybe MPs, UPND councillors, UPND ministers mocking any presidential candidate. We respect them as the players in the game we are. But HH was never respected. Anyone could just stand up, could see cadres insulting him in Chilabombwe. He was almost abused. Even now, we expected that level of engagement whereby they should now start looking at him as a Republican president and they should have form of respect for the president. But they are mocking him every day. Even when they're guided to say you cannot be debating a person who is not in parliament. You find that they're debating HH on the floor. You can't debate a person who is not there to defend himself, but they always bring him in their debate. So that makes us feel sad somehow because there is no learning in our colleagues. They are not learning. They keep on just coming out proud. I think their level of arrogance at reached a point where they can't, a point of no return, and which is very sad.
Yeah. I think that's the issue, and so we are still thinking that we can be sympathetic to them because they are being arrested for their crimes, you know, and they've committed a lot of atrocities against our people. But they are human, and we could be sympathetic, but they are themselves not sorry. What we want to see is them coming and bowing before the people of Zambia and say to the people of Zambia, we are sorry for abusing you. We are sorry for stealing from you. We are sorry for mismanaging you. We are sorry for lying to you. We are sorry for instead of buying desks for schools, they were buying helicopters. Instead of looking after orphans and widows and the disabled in our community, They were wiring money. That's the latest thing from the DEC. They were wiring money to Turkey to purchase a building at a very exorbitant price.
151 million.
It's very, very tough. It's very, very regrettable, you know. And so for you, our listeners, it's not that we are just mocking them that why they robbery kolonga. It's not that we are just trying to celebrate the misfortune of others. What we are trying to drive at is this patriotic front, the opposition leaders, they need to say sorry. Ukuichefia na ulufianya waichefia noti wemuntu na ulufianya elo walunda pomulomo wabika pomulomo nobufi. That is not right. That is not right. So as long as we are here, twakulabika potruimbo filiafine until abantu abene bakeluke okwebati they really did a lot of atrocities against our people.
I think vamusha chintu chashupa sana mu life kusumina kweva na lirushanya, you know. Acceptance, I think, is the first point of healing. Nangu muntu nalwala ngatari sumina tinalwala ta pole, okay. Wantu ngatawusumina tinalwala tawanu omuti, ngatawusumina tinalwala tawatushe, ngatawusumina tinalwala tawanwe ngamenshwe fwa ikokunwa. Icha abashupa banezi kusumina kuchipokerera nachisa chali bafini no kuchipokerera. Bafaika bachipokerera kweba tawe insta yabo yalipita. You know, there's time for everything. The time to come in and the time to get out. There's a time to be born, there's time to die. There's time for everything. So instanga ya Afrika kuchipokerera tawe bane nachi isa sentu chipokerere amba no kuichefya. Number bena they even daring the president to kwebati to leteka. Fweba leteka ni fwevo. You know, they keep on daring. They keep on poking and daring people. They keep on mocking. You know, you say the PF is corrupt, but haven't arrested anyone. No such statements. They are so provoking, you know. But as a UPND government, we are being methodical. Ngawalipangila mulando mu 2015, tatwakwika tena mulando mu 2021 yo. Twalamba na kwa kwina kuntendekero, ora tireisa panono. Kwa kwina wambile tatwirefa kutukumoneka kwa tini wichanti. Kwamba kula kwina ngani 2015 kwamba wa mu 2015 wata investigate kukukalampa wa koti ngakuri beo wafuma twaisa 2016 2017 paka 2021 kani methodical ni stage by stage tunaenda stage by stage
pache
pache panono so
kufirufyania efintu kufifulungania at once no
awe yo panono 2015 yapita 2016 yaisa 2017 paka tukafika na mu 2022 so waichefye afuke fye
ati babe patient
yes
ati ukuikatwa kuleisa echifungo chileisa bafuke fye
bafuke fye nokuichefya abantu nabo barakwata koruse omuntu nga kwaibalishwa ati bamunja munota wa politics. At times you make a decision because you have to make a political decision, not because you're a bad person. You know,
it's true.
You've made the decision because of your position. You're expected to behave in a certain way because of the position you're holding. So you can come out and say, yes, I did do this. It was because of the political pressure I had. Please forgive me. This was a mistake. Even people are going to sympathize with you. Not whereby you're daring to say, you used to say PF are corrupt. Can you prove that we are corrupt? How? How do you honestly provoke someone with so much information, which maybe may not even know because you've forgotten? What happened in 2015 for me? It will be difficult for me to remember. And I took why? What to call muntu? Ena shara na chimukaripa. Iwaya. Ubushiku makesa kwibusha turabushwa intention ntuke. So shfura namba kuponta kwevo muturi onsati. Inanga demo can you prove when you know that kwabo kurushanya. Why dare the government? Why keep on daring the government? Maybe they want to get sympathy. They think they'll get sympathy the way they used to arrest us. You know, they arrested us with the flimsy charges, thinking maybe HH could have won because of the 15th time they arrested him, saving them. When they arrested, they will get public sympathy. Where there's evidence, people can prove to say this for sure. There was a case here. There was there was a crime committed. So it's important to accept. Acceptance is what has been difficult for a friend. Let them accept to say things.
Yeah.
Life has changed.
Yeah, and the other thing is, so they were given an opportunity. Whatever I did, if I were to come back, I would do the same thing. Everybody ran. They are coming back to do the same thing. Zambia. Ababa Patriotic Front, don't even give them a chance. Because they'll come and do worst atrocities. In terms of the economy, I think they left a very tattered economy. That's just reality. They left an economy where they were stealing So in order to correct what is going on, we need courageous leaders. A government that will tell us the truth. What they found and the answer to those problems. That's one of the things that I like about this minister. And it's very much like Magande, because Magande, this minister, they just tell you the truth as far as our fiscal position, where we are at. They tell you. They were just pocketing money. They pocket money, they lie to us, they borrow. Confusion yeka. Fuel sector, oil sector, petrol, paraffin, na diesel, fiance. Confusion. It was an opportunity for them to steal. Not anymore.
Yeah, I think it all starts from accepting. As UPND have accepted to say we found a dead economy. It's an economy which is dead. As you have said, there's nothing in it. When you look, I think at the time I gave an explanation to say, when you look at just the money which was committed in the road sector alone, it's 127 million, 127 billion. Zambian budget 123. That's one sector of the economy is swallowing the budget and you operate in negative. That's just one sector of the economy. In the road sector, 127 billion commitments, again it's 123. Come to fuel. You're subsidizing. Mamusha, believe you me. I want to be very honest. I've got no problem with the government subsidizing the citizen because Zambia is a poor country. But giving subsidies are failing to pay for. It's like me as a parent. I've got a responsibility to subsidize my children toward education. But they're Congolese to subsidize their education instead of living within my means to subsidize them. But I go an extra amount and pretending to my children that I'm managing. Even the property could have owned as a family.
Yeah.
The people who are supplying fuel, how are they managing to continue supplying fuel which the government is not paying for? What are they looking for? Because the Bible says you're a slave to what? Someone who lends money to you. So let Congress fuel every month. Every month we let Congress fuel at the government. Government Congress. What are they going to go to demand when we can't solve the problem, can't pay for the fuel anymore? They're going to cripple the economy.
Yeah.
They're going to cripple the economy. They'll come with demands even to say, if we don't pay us, can you resign as the president? Otherwise, you're going to stop supply of fuel. So we cannot continue pretending things are okay. We need to accept to say, tafili we know. If it's tafili we know, to have solve a shine. Failure to accept is the beginning of a problem. In every situation, you need to accept the status quo. That's where we miss it. We are failing to accept, and when we fail to accept, we end up making more and more mistakes.
No. I think, Honourable Mabeta, I really agree with you. And it's time that our leaders were courageous enough. Okulando kwebati, kongola is not a solution. The other thing, Honourable, and I'll leave you with Patrick Chilufi and Wahimba Malambo shortly, is you see, on some people think that we can just go and use money from KCM and Mopani to pay all these debts, right? And yet, in order for us to even mine the copper that we need in our own country, We've got to spend money. We've got to spend money. And if we don't have that money, it's still the same problem. And so there is no way that we can survive on that basis. What do you think?
Yeah, Wamusha, when you look at Mupani itself, when Glencore was exiting, they're living in Mupani, they gave the government of Zambia a bogus loan, $1.5 billion, where it was agreed to say, to pay this $1.5 billion, Glencore is going to buy copper for 20 years. They'll be done buying copper coming out of Mupani, number one. Number two, they'll be buying copper at $3,000 per month, per ton. Copper today is at $10,000 per ton, but Mupani is still selling copper to Glencore at $3,000 per ton, meaning Zambia is losing $7,000. So even if you go and mine copper into Mupani, you are going to sell to Glencore at the same agreed price. So even these mines are heavily indebted. You can't rush to the mine to make money because they are owing the former shareholders, and there's a legal document in that, a legal valid document, which will be very difficult to crack because the government agreed at that time when they were exiting in April. When you go to KCM, it's a sad story. It's a company which was abused. I think we've seen the stories where the liquidator paid himself. He got money from KCM, invested it within 2 weeks. He made 17 million kwacha's the profit. 150 million disappeared. So even those mines want to go and mine. They have nothing we can go and get from. So what's the option? Remember I told you that story of to give you space for you to stabilize. Yeah, so you're going to debt refinancing.
Right.
Without the IMF bailout, this economy is dead. You have no capacity to continue running this economy because the debt burden is so heavy. We have debts on fuel. You have the Eurobond, which is the one Eurobond, it's $750 million with its interest. A loan comes with interest. So when the Eurobond was the interest payments on the loan were due, the government was failing to pay. So those interests, they have been added to the principal, which has also compounded the interest. It's like you owe me 100 kwacha, then you accumulate interest for 50 kwacha. That 50 kwacha becomes part of the interest. Your next interest on the money you owe me will be 75, because that interest also becomes part of the principal. So when you look at the Eurobond, we borrowed 750 in 2012. The amount due is more than the 750 because of unpaid interest, and they are due next year, 2022. Those monies, even that Eurobond, has to be paid. So what option do we have? Is to look for a partner, to help us sort out that problem, so that when they give us, they pay that 150 on our behalf. Then we can negotiate how long we're going to pay. We negotiate the period, we push it in front. So that's why we push it in front. Now we go back to 2012 to investigate how this money was borrowed. Was it borrowed according to the laws of Zambia? Who borrowed? Where was it invested? Because we need to know. We can't pay. The government can't pay money which they don't know how it was used. So there'll be an investigation on the same money which was paid. But before you focus on investigating the loan, we need to clear it. Because if we don't clear it, I'm sure I've heard some other countries where they have lost their airports and other strategic assets because of having borrowed and failed to pay. We don't want to lose any asset as a country in Zambia. All we have now is to bring a strategic partner who's going to help us walk through this thick journey. But from the explanation, from the things the government has put in, this economy, Mamusha, come 2023, it will be a different economy I'm going to see in Zambia. As you said, the current Minister of Finance, even in the one in Treasury, they worked with Magande. They were the one, in fact, who were implementing policies, which we were recommending policies to bring back this economy from the time MMD started selling the mines. So they worked on the economy, and the economy peaked. They have the experience, they've got the capacity. During that period, they were the one recommending, but this time they're just implementing what they used to implement and making small improvement. When you look at the way the finance minister comes out, he's very calm, he's very stable, he's not panicking. He's a man who knows what he's doing. He's got that experience. It's not new to him. We've been in this road before, and we've come out of it. So we are dealing with people who have solved this problem before. It's not new to them.
For those that are joining us, this is TVBAKWETU, Elias Monshe here with our TVBAKWETU family and crew and friends, and Patrick Chilufya, Bom Kelabai Mukelebai, and Himba Malambo. And our guest is not even a guest, Honourable Mabeta, because he's also our MP. We bring him every Wednesday. He comes to explain to us what he's doing in Parliament. We tell him what we think about what's going on. He gives us an agenda of what he will be doing next. And he interacts with us as well as his constituencies in Kankoyo every Wednesday right here on TVBAKWETU. And so we are very happy to have him. We like Honourable Mabeta for so many reasons, because he's indeed a leader for our time and Kankoyo. And us as TVBAKWETU are very happy to have him. However, one of us here is celebrating his birthday. I don't know how Mukelebai has turned, and I sent him a very nice happy birthday song, and I think he enjoyed it a lot. Happy birthday, Mukelebai.
Thank you so much, Luitumeza Huluwomusha. I was very, very happy to receive that song. You can sing very well. Actually, it was, the rendition was, wow, the voice production, the vibration, oh my God, I was like, huh?
I'm going to leave you now in the hands of Mr. Patrick Chilufya, who is going to host the show.
Okay.
Honourable Mabeta, you are already welcome here, and so please continue interacting with us and continue interacting with our listeners. Happy birthday again, Mukelebai.
Luitumez, thank you so much, my brother, and thank you so much, Bakwetu family, for such a warm, welcoming and very nice birthday wishes. It was amazing. You really made my day. Thank you.
Welcome, Mukelebai. Welcome, Imba. So, Mabeta, you before I bring in our Bakwetu people, obviously they are waiting to come in. KCM and Mopani, what do you think is the way forward? Because obviously you've mentioned about Mopani, the problems that are there. Is there any way the Zambian government can do something to revert whatever agreement? Because those agreements were not fairly done. Because, we're going to lose a lot. And then KCM, I don't think KCM has a similar agreement as Mopani. What's the way forward? What do you think is the way forward? Because before you come in, I'll give you an example of, I always talk about Botswana. And it's sad that we are the government that never cared about the Zambian people, our children, our grandchildren, because a good government thinks about its people and the future. I always talk about Botswana. When De Beers discovered diamonds in Botswana, because Botswana had only copper and cattle farming. They were only exporting beef. And they had a small mine in a place called TVBAKWETU, near the border with South Africa, Martin's Drift. And then when De Beers discovered diamonds in Botswana, they came in, and say, you guys, we've discovered diamonds. So can we start mining? Can you give us a license? They said, okay, you've discovered diamonds. Do you know that diamond belongs to the Swana people? I say, yes. So we're going to go into a joint venture. You're going to bring the money. the expertise, and then we're gonna go 50-50. And then they wanted to start playing games. They told them go back. If it was in Zambia or other corrupt African countries, they would have given them the mine. They would have bribed officials and got those diamonds. But they put their foot down and they said 50-50. We're not going to put a cent. We're going to go into a joint venture and run this mine together. But Mabeta, this mine is the single largest producer of single largest producer of diamonds in the whole world. Single mine, the largest single mining producing diamonds in the whole world. And Botswana has got reserves to the excess of $25 billion. Botswana is the only country in Africa that lends money to IMF, not borrowing money to IMF. So we've got KCM there. Why can't we do the same? Why can't we bring a partner with money and then we go into a joint venture? I know Mopani is an issue. What do you think about that?
Okay, first of all, allow me to say happy birthday to Womukerevain. I think you are now growing wiser with a hope, you know. Some time back, it was so difficult even to realize that you're growing old because there was no hope ahead of us. But thank God today we're in a different space. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
Let me also say good evening to my elder sister, Himba Malambo. Please welcome. Yeah.
Good evening.
Yes. KCM and the Mupani remains the heartbeat of the copper belts. Chirufia. We cannot turn a blind eye on those two mines. They control the copper belts. Any mess up on the Mupani and the KCM, the copper belt is gone. Even the flip on the copper belt was because of PF mismanaged those two mines. Once you mismanage those two mines, the whole copper belt collapses. So I think there's been a study, the Minister of Mines is going to give a policy statement over the two because some clauses, some agreements, they need a lot of renegotiation. And as a government, we are at a low position where the government already has got a huge debt they have to dismantle, meaning they have no capacity to pump in money in any company. So the best, as you have said, KCM and the Mupani needs a huge boost financially, a huge capital. The expertise we have, we have Zambians who've worked in those mines for a long time, they've got the experience. But what we need is capital to inject in those mines. But how do we get capital? When we have a huge debt as a government, it puts us on a weaker position to inject in that mine, because mining is a very expensive undertaking. So the Mupani deal needs to be renegotiated. The negotiation is based on one, the confidence. Just like I said before, the IMF is not just coming with the money to lend to the government. They also bring investor confidence. They also
It appears we are losing Mabeta. Let's continue. Himba, what do you think about KCM and Mopani? What do we need to do? What should the government do? What's your opinion about, or what are your suggestions to the government about those two mines?
Good evening, viewers, and the Honourable is here. Maybe we'll leave it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Honourable, you can continue. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, experiencing some internet connection. So what I'm saying is the IMF deal is giving the government capacity to renegotiate a lot of deals which were set, but with heavy price on the Zambian people. When we get that IMF deal, international community, financial lenders, they are going to have the confidence to say Zambia is now in the right hands, meaning if we negotiate a deal, the capacity of them being paid their money is there because of the management style which is in place. So the IMF deal is not only coming with a bailout, but it's coming out with an opportunity to bring back the confidence we lost at international level so that we can start renegotiating these deals. You know, these lenders, these owners, Glencore, they are all connected to a financial basket where they agree and they have to make a decision. So when the IMF comes in, they're giving us an opportunity to be in a better position to renegotiate these deals. Selling copper at $3,000 per ton when the international price is 10,000. It's a robbery to the Zambian people. So I even wonder why someone would claim to say, why can't you get money from the mine when that mine was locked up? It's a locked up, it's a 20-year loan which has to be paid with very heavy conditions. So we need first to get the ability to negotiate. Our friends, they went to, I think there's a $5 million which was paid to that crook who wanted to swindle us money on renegotiating a debt. The European government is only bringing back the confidence to be able to renegotiate the debt without losing any money. So the confidence which you are bringing is coming with it's opening new windows which are difficult to do. When we negotiate, then we can go into raising capital. How that capital will be raised, it will be another story for another day. But what is needed is now the capacity to renegotiate so that we can create new opportunities. We don't sort out those two mines, Copper Belt is gone, and once Copper Belt goes, you can't win an election. You've seen how UPND failed to win elections when Copper Belt was flipping the other side. So Copper Belt remains the backbone for any government. So I'm sure the reason why it has taken long even to make a policy statement on this, because the government have been trying to find the best mix which is going to benefit both the Zambian government, the people of Zambia, and whoever is going to pump in money in that mine.
Yeah, Mabeta, don't you think, because I'm against the government pumping money into, okay, the government creates an environment, for business to flourish. But in terms of the mines, I think the mines, they've got the infrastructure, they've got everything. So all the government needs is not to pump money into KCM or Mopani. All the government needs is to bring a partner, somebody to come and run those mines, in partnership with the Zambian people. Because mind you, Mabeta, government cannot run business, and then government cannot pump money into KCM, even if they are borrowing. I think the best is to bring a partner and pump money into there. And to me, the easiest would be KCM because Mopani is complicated. So how soon do you think somebody will come into KCM and partner with the Zambian government or Zambian people?
Yeah, even KCM, I think I read somewhere about the Transfigura, the company which supplied fuel some time back to this government, but it was terminated by this Manawasa because of the corrupt, the way that fuel was procured. So I heard the story of where the benefits paid to the employees were lent by the same company. So even KCM, it's not as easy as we may think, because the government has been borrowing money from a potential investor, paying off dues without being clear to the Zambian people on what condition that investor is lending money to that company. We have seen that company being abused. So there's a lot. So there's a lot of that being done. But in my own opinion, this issue, we need to solve it during the first quarter of 2021. 2022, sorry. If we leave it running like this, we're going to lose confidence, because the miners there, for sure, they have got serious problems which needs to be addressed by the government. They need to be given hope. They need to feel the government has really, there's change of government by where things are, the change of where things are being run in the mine. Remember, those two mines provide a wider benefit to the community because they become the biggest buyer of goods and services from the community around. The suppliers of goods and services, the lenders. So there's a lot of multiplier effect when those mines are performing. At this moment, the mines are not giving so much to the community, and the people are so stressed. So the area we solve the problem, the better, so that we have life we get life back to normal. But I'm sure that's like the president has been putting it. His first priority was to put up a budget, because that's the budget the government is not going to run. Once the the budget is approved, come 1st January, implementation starts. Then we can look at all these other problems. We cannot handle too many things at once. Once this budget is implemented, then the government will have time now to focus on other critical areas. Otherwise, handling too many things at once, we may crumble. We are trying to be methodical. I know it's hurting the Zambian people because they're being a little bit too slow, but once we make a step, I'm sure I think that slowly but sure we are catching up. So the main issue, I'm sure, will be sorted out once this process of the budget process goes through, because everyone's attention, everybody, including the minister, the president, our focus is on the budget. Very soon we're going to even start having double sessions, because we're running out of time. We still have a lot of items which need to be debated. So our focus is now to increase the number of hours we're going to allocate to debate the budget, so that come 1st January the budget is implemented.
Yeah, Mabeta, before I bring in my two colleagues, we're still on mining. You know that mining, gold has given Zambians the minerals. We've got so many minerals. Apart from copper, we've got cobalt, and not only apart from KCM and Mopani, we've got other mines like Kansanshi, Kalumbila, and we've got that gold mine in Ilunga. I understand the license has been suspended. We've got more mining coming. I understand there's a gold mine that will be starting soon in Ilunga, somewhere there. But the problem is, Mabeta, none of these mines are owned by Zambians, not even by the Zambian government. Okay, we've got some percentage of shareholding through ZCCM, which is not much. Yeah, ZCCM investment holdings. When you look at countries, okay, the manifesto of UPND states that going forward, whoever comes to invest in Zambia, whether in mining or anywhere, they have to go into a joint venture with the Zambian, 50-50. And then when you look at countries like South Africa, when they got independent, no mine was owned by the government or the black people. So what they said, they passed a law that minimum 25% should be owned by the locals, which is South Africans. And within 5 years, that law came into practice. And then with Zambia, so far, we don't have the last 10 years, we've never had a proper, stable, comprehensive mining policy as a government. They just kept on jumping. Today they said they are doing the royalties. Tomorrow they are doing that. Tomorrow they are taxing the mines with VAT. Tomorrow they change. How soon is that comprehensive mining policy that is futuristic, that is going to benefit Zambians? Look at Emerald's mine, Mabeta. It's big money. How many Zambians own an emerald mine? We've got more. That Winilunga mine, whose license has been suspended. Why can't a Zambian go into some Zambian businessmen go into joint venture and start that mine? So how soon is that policy gonna come out, on mining in Zambia, so that Zambians also can have a stake? Zambians can benefit from their own natural resources. But Mabeta, look at Dubai. I went to Dubai in the early 90s. Dubai was just developing. When they discovered crude, it was just like Dubai was even worse than Lusaka. It was just all dust. But when they discovered the oil, they said this oil belongs to the people of the Emirates. There are 15 Emirates there, but Dubai and Abu Dhabi, they are the most richest Emirates because that's where the oil is. They said this oil belongs to the people of the Emirates, mainly Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and they've developed that country out of that oil. Why can't we do the same? Botswana is doing it. Why can't we follow the steps of those countries? Thank you.
Yeah, you know, what really makes us fail to even put on the table such policies, because we are on a weaker position. You know, we are the one chasing for investors. But when we bring back the investor confidence, we are going to have investors chasing our mines. We are going to have investors chasing our minerals. We are going to have investors chasing Zambians to partner with so that they can have access to what they are looking for. At the moment, no investor would want to come to Zambia because we've mistreated the investors we had. Just a few months ago, the CEO from Upani was pulled off from the plane and driven on a land cruiser to go back to Mupani to go and answer some issues when he had the right to leave this country. Remember that investor who was manhandled by the government. So which investor would want to come to a country where the government is pulling its shareholder off a plane when he wants to go for holiday? And that CEO never came back to Zambia. So as a country, we messed it up. We didn't know how. We forgot about the need to treat investors with a proper way to treat them so that we can easily attract more investment. But with the new Dawn government, the new Dawn government, our focus is bringing back the confidence. Investment is not about foreigners coming to Zambia. Even Zambians, Zambians in the diaspora, you are investors. You can partner with your fellow Zambians in the UK, wherever you are. You put up your resources together. You come and invest. But what you don't, the confidence you don't have is, am I going to bring into to be able to retain the investment I'm going to push in this country? So once we get that investment confidence right, these investors are going to chase the mines here. When they come, that's when I'm going to have a position to put demands on the table. You can't put demands on the table when in a weaker position. So let's sort out the issue of investor confidence first. Then we're going to have an upper hand to negotiate any deal we think will work for the Zambian. At the moment, we're still weak, we're very weak. We are in a position where we're just attracting crooks. When the report comes out on the mines, you find that most of the investors we had were just crooking us, they were abusing us. So once we sort out the investor confidence component, we're going to bring in competition. And from competition that you get the best results. So at this moment, it's very difficult even to put or to think of any demand because we're in a weaker position. Look at UPND 10 years ago, 2011. They struggled to field in candidates in all the 156 constituents. Why? Because the party was on a weaker position. Today, there's a by-election. Unfortunately, may he so rest in peace for Honourable Mkandawire and Kawata. For the first time, there are 31 applicants who want to contest in that seat. Why? Because there's a goodwill. Independent government is attractive. So from that 31, the party can even pick. To be easy to pick the best candidates, other than chasing candidates to stand on the party. So first, we need to sort out what is important. What is important is to bring the confidence. Once we get the confidence, then we're going to have investors chasing our minerals. When they start chasing our minerals, then we get the strength even to demand anything. So let's sort out one of the important things first. Bring back the investor confidence. Once you have the investor confidence, even Zambians, you'll be able to put money together and you come and own a gold mine, a diamond mine, because you know to say investment is safe. Without the investor confidence, there's nothing we can achieve as a country, or be complaining. In the last 10 years, there's never been a huge pump in the mines. The last 10 years has been a disaster in the Zambian economy. No, the mines were struggling. So just a matter of time, the mines are going to explode. We haven't had the major capital injection to see that the mines are growing. The other decision the ministers done to remove mineral royalty as a deductible tax is to give confidence to the investors to make more money so that they can invest more. Congo 10 years ago, Vachirufia, was producing half what Zambia was producing in terms of copper production. They just removed that tax. Today, Congo is producing twice what Zambia is producing. 10 years ago, when they removed when they changed the structure of the mineral royalty, people in Congo are complaining. But today, Congo is a better country in terms of copper production. They are the largest producer of copper in Africa, just by changing the structure of the tax. In Zambia, the same has been proposed, but as usual, we said it want to make the European government like it's an carrying government. If we don't change that tax, another 10 years from now, Congo will develop faster than Zambia. So you're losing an opportunity. Most of the friends who are working for the mines, the expatriates, they're working in Congo now. They've shifted camp into Congo where the mines is booming. They're even able to attract expatriates. Congo 5 years ago, it was unsafe. Everyone never wanted to go and work from Congo. We have got even Zambians, friends who are working in Congo today. Because Congo has become more attractive than Zambia. We are better than Congo 10 years ago. We missed an opportunity to restructure our tax policy so that to attract more investment. And Congo is doing better than Zambia. So it's the decisions we make. And those decisions, when we review them, we find that we made big mistakes. There's no way you can pull off an investor from a plane, no matter how desperate you are. You need to follow the right procedure. If they have stolen, you can complain to their country, then they extradite them. Not what was done. That was serious. It was a serious blunder.
Thank you, Mabeta. Over to you, Rahimba.
Thank you so much, Patrick. And good evening, viewers, wherever you are watching us from or listening to us. Well, good evening once more. I'm suggesting a proposal that when so that, and you break it down into layman's language to understand. Because when you're talking about like the loans, the mines, us from group 80, we don't get it. And when you're talking about the loans, to say these loans, they me ngamlela na inefika kwati impie shishale ya government system. So mle pia bano pia zabale chitaboro shidi impia shale ya mumatumba. That's why the government to a group. That's my appeal to you. And thank you so much for the information you're sharing to us. But keep on educating us. Just break it down for us. And they still have the courage to say the government is not doing some of the information. So break for every Zambian to hear that they borrowed to put into their go into the government, but they borrowed in the name of the account. They borrowed in the name of the government name. For the Zambian people, well, it went into personal accounts. Thank you, Honourable.
No, well taken. I think ndaterera na umfamu kwa ni twile na vela. Yeah.
Over to you. Happy birthday, boy Mukelevai. Ask a question or make a comment to our Honourable MP.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Bakwetu. Good evening, panelists. And thank you so much for your birthday wishes. I am really thrilled. I'm getting there. I'm getting really old. So I'll share my age with you later. Well, Honourable, you've spoken very well. We really understand the jigs, what is going on, especially in the copper belts, in the mining sector. What is really disheartening is to see people that we entrusted to run the mines, or rather we give the mining to the Zambian people, and then the very Zambian people are the one who are turning around and stab us in the back. Already we have this gentleman Milingo is it Milingo? Is facing
Milingo
yes, is facing some criminal charges over the running of the, because he was called, was he a liquidator or something like that? And now he has been paying himself, and he has obtained so much. I don't want to go through in that issue because it's in court. So here we are talking about development of the mines, and that's our main source of income for as a country, as a nation. But here's some chaps who are the Zambians, not foreigners, no. The Zambians that are given opportunity to take over and to make things work in the right directions. And look where they're putting us. They are getting money. And that's why you find that even you cannot tell me that these people were buying those things from the businesses that they have been running. They purport that they are running businesses. In Zambia, we know for sure that for the past 5 years or 10 years, the economy has been struggling. And you ask any genuine business investor or a business person, an entrepreneur who is based in Zambia, you ask them about their balance sheets if they were making any profits. You will be sorry to hear that they have been struggling. Their businesses, they have been laying off people. And here we are, we have a clique of individuals that are connected to the government. Suddenly they go and come up with a skeleton of a company, and that company, we've never seen them, we've never heard them having a business experience. We've never heard them running business that was making 1,000 profit. And then suddenly, by virtue of them aligning themselves to the government or using their positions, here we are. We hear them buying. We hear them making colossal sum of money. How is that possible? There's no abracadabra here. There's nothing like they are lucky because they are exposed. That is not true. These people have been stealing. They have been siphoning monies from the state. And I am so glad that the courts, the court system, or the judges, the prosecutors, and the legislatures themselves, they are busy trying to make things work. I know many people have talked about the constitution, the decision of the speaker. That's her prerogative. She can decide in any way she wants. She can even pinch on a constitution, but it's in her house. She can chase anyone she doesn't want in her home. Of course, if she oversteps, yes, people have the mandate, or they are obliged to go and appeal. But as for her, let her run the house the way she wants it to run. And so that's why what I'm trying to say is that the confidence, the Honourable Mabeta, what you're talking about, it will really take time, because it has to start with us, within our country. Because those investors, because when you hear investors, we only talk about Shinga Indalama. Because that's the only thing we know. And that's why we respect, or we pay homage to investors, because we know that they have the capacity. They have the money, the muscle. But when it comes to us, who are given, say we want 50% to have running a 50% share in the mining sector. But we are not honest. We are the people who are depriving our own people. Self-hate, going back to self-hate. Because there's no way the previous government, what they did not do those things because they had the love for the Zambian people. No. They hate us. They hate themselves. And that's why we are in this position. So inevo fonde foko fona chila foko bika pamulo pakulanda poeti amwe amufiteleze musebezi omweza kwa parliament and make sure that these chaps who are trying to be to run around when they have nothing to say or to offer, put them in their position where they belong. I salute the judiciary. I salute the speaker. I salute anyone that is trying to bring sanity into this country. It won't be easy. Many people will cry foul. Many people will be injured in the run, but that's the way it's supposed to be. We don't have to be comfortable all the time. So hard decisions have to be made. So MP, you are doing a tremendous job. Just hold on and go on. That's what we want. Put those measures and bring sanity to our country. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's really a sad story. When you look at the appetite people had to steal, it's like, you know, they got money from the Zambian people as if they're going to live forever. You know, like someone who's going to, you want to have so much like you never die one day. Why buy 2 choppers as an individual? For what? In an economy which is stressed, an economy which is bleeding, an economy where there's high inflation, an economy where for any single person is so hard, but someone is making the money. Honestly, there should be some level of consciousness, some level of guiltiness, some level of responsibility, you know? Do we really care about that? Why are we so heartless? I always ask myself a point to say, when God created the human being, a human being is full of love and compassion. How did we lose that compassion? There's no compassion, you know, cold-hearted. You do something without any remorse in you, without any regrets. You just become so brutal that you don't care anymore. You know, it's so sad. It's so sad, and it's a lesson for some of us who are getting into public office at a very tender age and having some lesson to look at. It doesn't pay. No matter how much you want to become rich, as long as you're stealing, it's just a matter of time. Time will catch up with you. The impossibility will happen. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it was so impossible for HS to be a president. But today, the president, and a lot of things are going to be exposed. So we have an opportunity to learn, a huge opportunity to learn, to say certain things don't just work in life. When you're selfish, when you're greedy, it's just a matter of time. Time is going to catch up with you. And when time catches up with you, you have no one to blame, because there's an opportunity to make the right decision. You are entrusted to run the affairs of the country. Then you just go on butchering, you know, just butcher whenever you want. You just crack, get the blood. You don't care about the meat or whatever has been hurt. This economy has been bleeding. The economy is in total, you know, it's so distorted that even when we are told to say, let's work hard so that we implement the budget, so let's increase the number of hours so that we implement the budget, we start rebuilding this economy. It's a sad story, you know. As a parent, when I look at my children, if they're going to inherit this type of economy, you're being unfair on them. We have a responsibility as parents today to make things right for the future generation. Otherwise, the future generation is going to inherit nothing. It's going to inherit debts. They're going to inherit problems which they never created. So we should never in our lives become so greedy and selfish to promote our selfish agenda. When we are given an opportunity to serve the people, let's serve them diligently, with compassion, with love. Now let's remember to say it's them that we are in this position. Without them, we can never be. And should never take advantage of people. Let's be transparent. The position the new Dawn government has taken of being transparent, although our friend would say it's a blame game. No, it's not a blame. When there's something wrong, it is wrong, and you have to state it as it is and find a solution. So that posterity will judge us. We shouldn't do things for the sake of enriching ourselves. No matter how rich you are, you can only drive one car at a time. Can only wear one pair of shoes at a time. Can only wear one shirt. So why amass so many cars which you can't drive at the same time? How did we become as a human being lose that consciousness and contentment? All you wanted just to have and have and have yourself alone. It's so sad, but a big lesson for us to learn.
Yeah, but Mabeta, you've said something very important. Even
Patrick, I just wanted to add on something there.
Can I just say something before you come in? Yeah. So Mabeta and Mukeleba in Himba, you've said something very important. Ubuntu. Where has Ubuntu gone to? But the thing is, all that happened by Mabeta, let's put it behind. Some of us, most of us, by Himba and myself, we had to put our lives on hold because we wanted that regime to go. One of the most crooked, visionless regime ever ruled our country. But now we've ushered in a new government, a new breed of leaders like you. Let's change the history. Let's leave a legacy to our children. And the time is now, Mabeta. But Mabeta, you are in parliament. Just one question before Mukeleba comes in. There is one important thing that makes me sad, and one of the reasons why I fought this the previous government to come out, to go. When you go to other countries, South Africa, I don't even want to go far away. South Africa, Botswana, they've got very strong foreign exchange regulations. In South Africa or in Botswana, when De Beers sells the diamonds, most of the diamonds are sold in London. All the sales of the diamonds come to the Reserve Bank of Botswana. So all that De Beers takes to London, their head office, is the dividends or the capital expenditure when they are buying mines. In South Africa, they've got one of the strongest foreign exchange regulations. You know, Western Union, all the African countries, the last country where they went to was South Africa, because South Africa has got very strong foreign exchange regulations. They thought criminals will be stealing money, or they will be transferring, legitimizing drug money using Western Union. So it took so long because they wanted to put loopholes, and they wanted also to come up with laws to control how Western Union is going to work in South Africa. Now, Mabeta, as we are talking now, when Grenco sells the copper, when Mopad, when KCM, Kansanshi, Kalumbila, even Shoprite, all the dollars, they externalize the money immediately. Copper sales don't come back to Zambia. So, Mabeta, you are a member of parliament. When are we gonna have that draft of that? You know, to reform our current foreign exchange regulation, because Mabeta, that's a leakage, and it's a huge leakage. Do you know that if we were having copper sales coming into Zambia, if companies like Shoprite were not externalizing money, you know, the kwacha would be stable, because we will use those dollars. Whenever the kwacha looks weak, we use the dollars to stabilize the kwacha, but we don't have the dollars. So, Mabeta, as an MP, when are we going to see that law passed in Parliament? And actually, our foreign exchange regulations are outdated. When are we going to have that happen? Because it will really help our economy. We can even pay most of those debts because what happens if they bring in the dollars? We give them the kwacha. So the dollars belong to Bank of Zambia, to the people of Zambia.
Okay, I think Mukeleba had something to say, if I can respond.
Bomkeleba, you are muted.
Oh yeah, for me, I was trying to say something away from the mines because I'm not so much into that aspect. But me, I'm talking about. I wanted to dwell so much on the moral aspect, on the morality. Where has it gone wrong? I was just trying to add on what you are trying to emphasize, to say our morality. Where has the moral compass, where has it gone to? You know, we have really reached the point of where we perceive other people as less citizens, and then we put other people as more citizen than the other, that other people, they are more Zambians than the other, that you cannot talk over them because you belong to a certain minority group. Otherwise, that is the narrative that the previous government wanted to capitalized on, and then they were mixing. They sing the song about God. They even come with your hands, thinking that they are humble. And then what they do behind closed doors. And this is the revelations. Today we see these revelations. So to me, I wanted to just say that this hypocritical type of living always catches up. The righteous will shine, and those that were pretending will be caught in the cobwebs with their lies. And then this is what is happening right now. And the reason why Hakainde Hichilema has decided, and the government, the new dawn, has decided not to rush into putting these people behind bars, trying to be categorical. I think he wants to put them, he wants to give them an opportunity to self-realization. And upon them realizing that they have done something, they should be remorseful and come forward. But from what we see today, it is quite sad that we see some of your colleagues in the parliament, even when there is nothing to argue or to dispute or to demonstrate, they would rather just walk away to say, this is what we want. It's everything that comes from the right, it's negative to them. So to me, I find that, and it's too early for them to start acting like that because we are still in their mess. Tuchiri ture pipa mafiyavo abayo batushire yachiriale nunca. We have tried to put all this kind of chemicals to kill them. The scent.
Bom Kelebai, sorry to distract you. Can you allow now Mabeta to respond to your
okay, thank you. Sorry, otherwise I wanted to go that end, but you can take on that part.
Thank you, Bam Kelebai. Honourable Mabeta.
Yeah, I think it all goes backward to vulnerability. You know, we have maybe three companies. We have ShopRite, we have got Pick and Pay, which wanted to come and join in the economy, but they are winding up. ShopRite is taking those stores. So how do you squeeze ShopRite on the exchange rate? They will say, even as we are going, we are too vulnerable as a country. We are too weak to negotiate anything or to enforce any law. You know, yeah, we have been butchered to a point where we're too weak to even to come up and policies which are going to benefit the country, but squeezing the investors. Already the investors who wanted to join us, they are packing their bags, they are going. Go in the malls. Most of the stores are empty. There's no one selling there. So we need to work on investor confidence so that we increase the competitiveness in the country. That's when you can have a tooth to bite. At the moment, we are so weak. Coming to back yeah, I think it's really sad that the humanity aspect of our life, we decided to abandon it, but it all comes back to illegality. Even at home, if my son starts stealing, his attitude quickly changes Because when I have access to illegal money, it just makes you stubborn, makes you impatient, and it makes you arrogant. And that's the route we in the UPND should never take. No matter how much you want to hide it, as long as you are doing some illegality, your attitude will change immediately. You can hide the money you are stealing, but your attitude will be able to say there's something wrong. There's something he's doing. There's something which has changed the person. So no matter how much you have an opportunity, which will come on our table because we're in these influential positions, we should never, never, never allow ourselves to be involved in illegality. Illegality doesn't build you, that destroys you. It makes you stone-hearted. It makes you stop fearing God in your life. It takes away the spirit of God from you, and you just become so cold-hearted and so heartless that you do things which are not normal become normal in your life. You know, it's normal to start bribing people, to be boasting, self-praise. You want, even when you go into church, you're taking an offering, you're going to dump a bunch of money in a basket so that the church can see you. Well, who does that, honestly? In Christianity, you know, you're donating money in church to gain self-praise and to win election. We turn churches into political grounds. We lose our humanity. So it's a lesson anyway, but we shall not forgive those who really lost, who abused the trust the Zambian people gave us. Not fair. Zambians have been robbed, have been betrayed. Zambians are good people, yes, we know. But there's a point at which those who do the wrong, they need to be punished. It will take a bit of time, but we shall not have mercy for those who betrayed the trust. Because if you have mercy, we are creating a situation where even us, we want to do wrong things so that those who come after us have mercy. There will be no excuse for betraying the trust the Zambian people have given us. Very rare opportunity to work for them, and we should treasure it. We should do it to the best of our ability. And the president is very firm on that one. He's very firm because he knows how much it took him to be trusted by the Zambian people. And they trusted him. He wants to return the favor. Whoever is going to realign himself off the hook, they are going to pay a heavy price. I've been with the president for a long time, understand him. He's a man who means business. But yes, he can joke. He's a human being. He wants to smile. But when it comes to illegality, corruption, theft, he's very, very tough on that one because it doesn't tolerate indiscipline, doesn't tolerate abuse. Let's work for the betterment of the people. Yes, the past was tough. We are in the right path. We are fixing it. We are closing the taps. We are closing, 5 years ago, when you're an MP in the ruling party and the MP in the opposition, you could even tell clear cuts to say, these ones are in the ruling, these are in the opposition. Today, you can't even tell whether I'm an MP in the ruling government because you are being given the same benefits with those in the opposition. You're not stealing. You're getting the same salary. You're getting the same allowance. So you're having a normal lifestyle. There's no one who's coming out to say these are in the ruling, these are in the opposition. You have some access, and that's how it's supposed to be. So even after sorting out the issue of corruption in the previous government, even in the current government, the president is firm on it. We are all equal. We're only different when we're debating, but when it comes to lifestyle with both opposition and, in fact, even those in the opposition, they have a better life because they came into this government with stolen money, which is going to bite them. But those who are innocent, those who just joined at the end, who never saw the PF, we have the same life, you have the same struggles, and that's how it's supposed to be. Being in the ruling shouldn't be a way of making you rich, no. It's a way of making decisions which is going to benefit the Zambian people. It's all about decision making, not how much you're going to earn.
Boimba, what is your take? What is your say about what Mabeta has said and what Mabeta has said so far?
Thank you so much, Patrick. Honourable Mabeta, I think we have to identify the problem here. Although today I'm so happy that umfako na abantu tunyimbo twachila umfako umilando wale panga yonse vale kwelela nombe yualeta kwena vale kulonga kashkuli na vale imbila vale shita prophesize tunyimbo abali na panga. Honourable Mabeta, there are things we need to understand about ababa nesu aba ni ku left kuli abekalate. Those friends of still in a shock. And the shock yabo bamubalaba nama depression. Bamubalaba nama mental health issues because they are still in a shock because they had rated themselves in a wrong way. Bamubale munakwati ni balesa. You know, they forgot that there was a creator up there who is the overall of all mankind. They took even God's power into their hands. Secondly, the problem, you know, you'd steal something because you're used to steal. You don't even have anything to use it. Every day ukala nina fyo wayapa Shoprite wayana helicopter. Wayapa Mandai una helicopter. So what's the point of stealing something you don't even need? Ama PCR andeo bale ibayali yonse bale ipera 600 chakuti hectares ule tuwala kuisa we muntu we tekanya. You know? So bale munakwati chiloto. Bena bale lota ifwe tulelanda tichiloto okuwama. Badi abakakire. Bakapokola mwabombeni. We are waiting and you have our support. Ababalefuma mu parliament abale chipu tubaleke bakabwera tali mu parliament nombe fintu fyali chinja. You are going to be paid according to the hours. Takuli fya kutafya login waya twakakubera tefyo. Utaba bweshe nsala. So abantu tuba lekeni fye bakakwe mwachumva bamwe abakirala ndati Police atuli police twakulire nabantu ani mwachibomfa baya. Who does that? These people they humiliated 777. He's been humiliated. Balamutuka na nomba. There are people who are still insulting. There are cadres who are still paid to insult him. He doesn't respond. He doesn't do anything. He has showed them leadership. Ababantu tabakwata omutima wa kikuku shishi bene mutima bakwata. I don't know if they even have a heart. If the conscience is dead, Mabeta. Don't even talk about conscience. They don't have any conscience, all of them. If there's one, Nishiba knew. Ababa isako nomba. But if you kopwe, if it kwete. Awe. Bale kenfye bale ya, and wakapokola mwabombeni. And we are so proud with our president. Nshimbi, aba ume, ba ume. Mabeta. Tuleta shama bokomule ikatirila. So that the president should do his job. Thank you.
Yeah, no, many thanks, Maimbe. I think it's, you know, we are going through a phase where we need to reflect a lot. I'm not accusing anyone, but what happened in Porokoso, is it Shiwangandu in 2015 was so sad. You know, we had our mothers, the former first lady and our current vice president, with the Bamutati Bamchereka, the former SG, who almost lost their lives. Because what happened was that helicopter was supposed to be brought down, but it was already descending. So it immediately went down, allowed them to run for their life in a field where we had these PF thugs who wanted to take away their lives. Bringing down a chopper, bring down a plane is a very serious aviation case. When you bring down a plane in that country, the whole world will fear or they will stop their planes to fly through your air zone. So Zambia was going to be locked up. No plane was going to come to Zambia because Zambia could have been considered as the unsafe zone. So this country, this economy was going to crumble because we are going to have a situation where no plane was going to take a risk, both commercial and passenger plane, to fly through the air zone in Zambia. That could have costed this country so heavily. The pilot who was in charge of that plane was a foreigner. He was coming from a foreign country. If that pilot was brought down in our land, this country could have been punched heavily by even a war could have could have brought war on this country between the Zambia and the country where that pilot was coming from. So a lot was at risk. Our lives were at risk. Even the innocent citizens could have paid heavily just by a few people who wanted to prove their strength or to prove their power that they can do anything they want. It was very bad. It was a situation which put so many lives at risk without thinking over the consequences. As Mahimba said, when you lose conscience, you can do anything without regards to the consequence of the consequence of the act you are going to take. So we are going to observe, we are going to learn, but that occurrence should never, never, never happen ever again. Where I want to bring down a plane, you lose Ubuntu, just because of politics. You want to bring down a plane to kill mothers, you want to kill innocent women, and you claim a Christian. It's so sad, it's very sad. So we're going to learn. We shouldn't get that desperate to retain power where we want even to shed blood. Let's atatemwa. Let's
Thank you so much, Honourable Mabeta. We've got 5 minutes before we close. Honourable Mukelevai, can you please? Are there any questions from the readers, from the viewers, and also can you encourage the viewers to give us the stars?
Okay, thank you so much, Mochirufia. Honorable, I just wanted to say, I've just seen something here. Just a quick one. Anything, I'm so happy. If it's true, then I'll be so happy, because if this chap has been arrested on my birthday, and I have been actually advocating for his arrest, especially, I just want to know in what relation, what is the charge? Are you aware of what charge is Kampyongo arrested? I hear he's arrested.
He has been detained so that they can go to Shuangandu to go and arrest him and charge him. What they've done is just to detain him. He's being detained at Charleston Police Charleston Police Station. Yes. So they're going to go to Shuangandu based on the statements they got. Because remember, the police arrested some people during that day. So those people, they gave statements. So you are not privy to the statements they gave, which could have implicated the honorable member of Shuangandu. So they are going to go there and charge him according to the evidence and the information the police got. I'm sure those people spoke, they spoke that time because they knew they had the protection. So maybe they spoke more than they should have spoken, which could implicate the honorable member. So we're not going to speculate. As far as I know today is that he has been detained. When they're going to Shuangandu is I'm not sure, but will be updated so that they can go and charge him based on the information and the statements those people gave in 2015.
And just on that, while we are in this spirit of celebrating, or rather of ejecting people that have lost, that whose seats have been nullified and that they are not supposed to appear in the parliament, come to parliament, while we are celebrating or debating on that, can you bring up the motion where we can also hear people that are faced with criminal matters not to appear before to come to parliament, so that at least they can stay there until their cases are dissolved by the competent court, their criminal matters? If it means 2 5 years takes, that will be their suspension for as long as, can you please, while we are in the spirit of one, reducing cost, two, revamping the economy, bringing back the economy to its status, could you kindly please discuss with your fellow MPs so you could maybe try to debate on that aspect, that MPs that are faced with criminal charges or allegations should not appear until their cases they have a clearance certificate. It's like flying out of the country. You have to fly out to enter some country when you have a clean criminal record. That's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, at the moment, our focus is more on the budget because we're running out of time. So we wouldn't go into constitutional issues. But the next stage of the sitting, because we're going to close Parliament after the budget is debated and approved. I'm sure in the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the speed you're going to move. Then we can come before the next budget session. We're going to have enough time now to introduce bills, to introduce laws, the constitutional. So we can just take note of whatever you want to propose. When the right time comes, we shall propose. For sure, I think we shouldn't. Criminality should never be celebrated ever again in this country. Whoever is involved in criminality, they need to feel the pain of being involved in criminality. Even being suspected should make you feel uncomfortable. Just being suspected in any criminal activity, as a human being, you need to feel uncomfortable. So anything you want to propose, you can draft. Just take notes. After February, Parliament is open. I'm sure we're going to have enough time now. We can bring other constitutional issues, because at the moment you're rushing to have the budget approved. If you don't approve the budget by 29th December, the government collapses. Then we have to go back for fresh elections. So that's why we've seen our friends that have been, when they're debating, they're taking too long to debate. They're not allowing us to flow. They're always raising point of order just to disturb our debate so that we take long to conclude the budget. Their hope is to collapse the budget so that we can go for fresh elections. So the constitutional issues, I think we should deal with them later, because now we've got the risk of not approving the budget and the government is going to collapse.
Thank you. Bochirufia, do you have time to read some comments from viewers? Just 2 or 3?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. Yeah. A lot of one of the comments here from Halvin Imbai. The biggest mistake we made as Zambians was to allow criminal organizations in the form of political parties called Patriotic Front to govern our country. But thank God they are now gone into abbreviation. Oh, that's the one which is there. Yeah, so a lot of people are making positive comments, Mabeta, and they are confident that the UPND government, just like myself, will make Zambia great again. And Mabeta, that is a big thing. So mwebali mu butekoba, mwebali mu parliament and mwebali mu government abanensu, we fought together. They've got a big weight on their shoulder, a duty of care, because the government ingafilwa abantu bakatemwe. Because what we went through in the last 10 years is something else. Zambia has never experienced that. But so far, so good. The rating for this government is very good. People are confident that things shall be well. We'll be closing very soon. I would encourage our viewers to send the stars, and also those who can become subscribers of the BAKWETU. It's only, I think, $4. And those who are in the UK, it's £3.80 or 89. Please subscribe to BAKWETU. BAKWETU does not make any money from anywhere. It's through your stars and through your subscription. Please subscribe. And before we finished, Mabeta, we've got only 1 minute. Your closing points, please.
Yeah, no, thank you. Happy birthday once more, Kuriwa Mukelebaing. We're really happy to see you on this important day of your life. I want to make a plea to the Zambian people. You are the owners of this country, and we are our employers. When an employer starts seeing an employee starts changing a lifestyle, his attitude, you should be concerned rather than praising them. We made sheep become hooves because we started praising them when they were stealing from us. We made them small gods, We lined up for them. We made them feel they're important when they were criminals. This should never happen again. Please, 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 starting from the president to the councillor, we are your employees and we are employed to work for you, not for you to praise us. No, we are your employees. Our role is to work according to your demands. So feel free and always challenge the decision we make, the lifestyle, and the things we do. If you see me starting getting rich, by now most of you can rate the type of life I have. Should I start crossing that boundary? You have the right to question without even shame or remorse, because you employed me to work for you. So never praise me. You know, this self-praise of human beings makes us feel as small gods, which ends us lose the way. So don't praise us. In fact, criticize us more than you praise us. For sure, when we do something good, we want to be recognized because that's part of motivation. But it shouldn't go into appeasement for the sake of want to benefit something from us. We need to work for you. The reason we employed us is to work for you, not to be praised by you. We are human beings. You treat us wrongly, you are misleading us. We will change and we start saying politicians are the same. Like what Chirufi has said, should Zambia lose hope now, the next thing you're going to lose the country because they have deposited their faith in the UPND. Should the UPND disappoint them, we are not going to have a country, because what we're going to have is reaction and there'll just be a lot of discontentment in the Zambian people. We are not going to take that route. Trust us. We know it's been painful, it's been hard for you. We are here to deliver for you, and we are going to work. We will work to the best of our abilities. To my friends in the UPND, those who want to take the route which the Zambian people didn't want us to take, those are going to get out of the way. We are not going to support you. Even me, when I get out of the way, don't support me. We don't want to let people down, please. It's not right. It's never right to let people down. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honourable Mabeta, for coming and for always be there whenever we need you. Thank you so much, Bakwetu panel. Happy birthday once again, Bomukelevai, and the lovely Himba Malambo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers in Zambia, all over the world. May God bless Zambia. And we pray that Zambia shall be great again. Amen.
Amen.